Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, aliens and robots, we are back with another episode of the Post Republic. I'm here, Silas, with Detox and Steve Martin himself. We got quite a few stories, so Detox, take it away.
Oh, the big story. Trump calls in the National Guard to crack down on crime in Washington, D.C. FBI declassifies documents proving Senator Adam Schiff leaked classified intelligence to shape political narratives. DOJ issues subpoenas to New York AG Letitia James as part of an investigation into possible illegal activities. Democrats claim this is an unprecedented weaponization of the Justice Department against political opponents. Zohran Mamdani has an 82% chance of becoming the next mayor of Washington, D.C. Trump announces 90-day pause on China tariffs. Trump and Putin plan to meet for a peace summit in Alaska. Trump orders a new census to stop Democrats from using the numbers of
We are
illegal
going to be
aliens
trying the
to increase their House
we
seats.
are going to be trying the original brand pasta.
Texas is still trying to get redistricting through their legislature while Democrats keep stifling. Harvard professor claims there is an extraterrestrial object heading towards Earth. South Park goes after Trump and conservative podcasters. And my favorite story, Candace Owens calls out Nick Fuentes for being a federal agent. Ooh, juicy, juicy.
Oh boy.
Which one of these stories calls out to you, gents?
Um, I'll comment on the whole Washington D.C. thing and bring in law and order to at least one city. Um, yeah, it's weird because the Democrats are, stating stats that we now know were altered, and I guess that police commissioner or whatever, he's been pulled from the department because of it. And then they're like using stats that are related between 2023 and 2024, and I guess 2023 is when it really spiked,
Okay.
all the crime and everything. So from there, it's going down, but it's still way above pre-COVID.
So they're claiming that the crime is down. Why would you ever have to bring in the National Guard?
They're stating there's another reason, and I there may be maybe he's rounding up some other things that are under the radar. But it is like that. There's a satanic, you know, influence in DC, and I've seen it in all the major cities, really. But there, it seems like it's much worse, and like our title says, it's almost like an exorcism or whatever, and because of the just blatant chaos and like degeneracy that's there, and it's like I go back to the Democrats always wanting to be the party of victims, and so they create victimhood in so many different ways, and this is one of the main ways. Crime gets so bad that the police station gets so many calls that they stop even going to the calls because it's overwhelming. And then they defund the police and it makes it worse, and so it creates all these victims because they feel like they're not going to get help anywhere, and they love that state of mind because that fearful state is what you can influence easier.
Well, what do you think, Steve? Is this a fascist move by Donald Trump?
Absolutely not. So,
I thought you were
but
going to say absolutely.
no, no, no. But to tie into what Silas was saying, what if it's because some of these indictments are about to come through and they know that these cops aren't going to. What if that has something to do with it? 'Cause that kind of occurred to me today.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
they haven't been enforcing the laws. I don't know. Did you guys see the video of the police commissioner when they
Oh,
asked her about the chain of command and she says, "What's a chain of command?"
yes. Yep. And there's also apparently the mayor came out and made a statement. Let me just share this real quick because this is important stuff.
Trump better not cancel DEI up in here. Cause that's the only reason I got this damn job in the first place. Also, Washington, D.C. is just another regular city with lots of crime. You know, like Memphis, Chicago, Detroit, St. Louis, Baltimore, and New Orleans. And what do all these cities have in common? Well, let me tell you what they have in common. They all run by Democrats, and they all full of
Okay. Pretty powerful statement from the from the mayor of Washington, D.C.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Well,
The
so
common theme of cities is they're shitty and run by the same political group.
yeah, and it's like they say, there's no blue states, only blue cities. It seems like the entire country is being held hostage by what, a handful, maybe a dozen big cities. So move out of those cities, guys. Get out of there if you can.
Isn't
Denver went to shit.
Oh yeah.
You
I've
know,
heard Miami is a decent city, but I have never been myself, so I don't really know.
yeah, even places in Texas like Austin. Austin, when we were in Austin, there was my fiance was going to the grocery store and they witnessed a guy being dragged out of his car and then jumped by a group of hoodlums. And then the guy manages to get away. He gets into his car and grabs a machete and then starts chasing these people away. It's like, what in the middle of a city? What kind of failed nation are we? You know, you look at like cities like Abu Dhabi or Dubai or, you know, places in the Middle East that are like Muslim countries that are clean, no crime. You don't even have to worry about anything. It's kind of just an indictment of the failure of the democratic politics in the US. We're supposed to be the shining city on the hill. We're supposed to be, you know, we're supposed to be the example, and here we have like rampant crime. It's insane.
I've I've heard, maybe you guys have heard about this too, the freedom cities. This whole movement, I guess they're planning 10 of them altogether, and they're going to be ran a little different, is what I've heard. Like it'll be more of a private city. So there'll be like a CEO type of position and all kinds of
Oh,
kind of stuff
interesting.
that relates to business.
Maybe that's the best way to do it. You know, Trump kind of runs the government like a business,
Yeah.
you know, and that's probably a good
That
thing.
at least brings logic back into the equation.
So
Well,
You're,
Trump's Freedom Cities proposal by Donald Trump in March 2023 as a part of his 2024 presidential campaign. Freedom cities are envisioned as new urban areas built on federal land to address housing shortages, boost American manufacturing, and foster innovation. The plan involves creating up to 10 cities through a national design contest using a small fraction of the 28% of U.S. land owned by the federal government. These cities would operate as deregulated zones, exempt from many federal regulations such as environmental laws, labor laws, and parts of the tax code to encourage rapid development and technological advancement. Sounds good to me. Or is it just Trump being a utopian?
I mean, we just need a different approach regardless. So I think it's wise to try this and then maybe do another 10 cities with another approach too.
it literally could not be any worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just try anything. Just
Do
anything at this
something.
point. Yeah. Do something. Jeez. Well, I for one, I mean, I could see. Let me just steel man it. Seeing, you know, military personnel going down the streets in Washington D.C. You know, it looks kind of bad. We don't really want tanks going down Main Street in our cities. I mean, it looks kind of fascist. But I mean, if stopping crime is fascist, then I guess call me a fascist.
It's fascist if they stay in the streets, like beyond the month or whatever they're aiming for.
Oh,
So that'll be the test if he's really a fascist,
I
which
mean,
is
I
not.
think it's weird Do you guys remember Biden's inauguration? The fact they had troops there for that. They built walls. They stayed for how long did they stay? Was it a month? They
At
were sleeping in
least,
garages,
yeah,
parking lot.
looked like a military coup to me.
And I mean, nobody was crying this then. What's the difference?
Well, we were.
Well, of course, but we were pointing out that you probably shouldn't be building all these walls and everything.
Yeah. Well, and they used January 6th as a pretext, right? So, and I'm hoping to get January 6th defendant on next week. Her name's Karen Jones. I asked her to be on, and I think she said she's going to try and do it. So I think that'll be really fun to get into the details of what they did to the people who were just peacefully protesting. Yeah, sure, there were a few people that got unruly, but there was tons of people that were ushered in and they stayed inside of the velvet ropes, and then they got railroaded. Some of them were in solitary confinement for what, almost a year, maybe even more than a year.
Oh, it was 2.5 at least for the solitary. But I mean, I love
Yeah.
that they'll point out that we're the party that likes to, guns, and we showed up to overthrow the government with no guns. It the logical inconsistency is enough to drive you insane.
Well, that brings me up to one of the other stories. You had Nick Fuentes was out there with a bullhorn, telling everybody to, ignore the cops, push through the barricades, get in there and take over We're taking the government back. Pretty much calling for actual, an actual revolution, an actual coup against the federal government. And what happens? Nothing. What's going
I
on with that?
Fed.
It runs deeper than just that with him. Do you guys remember when Kanye was running his presidential campaign and Milo was his campaign manager?
Yeah.
Nick
Yep.
Fuentes went to Mar-a-Lago to have his picture taken with Trump, so that they could say, "Look, he's with noted anti-Semite Nick Fuentes." It's the only reason he was there. He actively campaigned against him to his groypers,
Yep.
and then the second Trump won, your body, my choice.
Yeah.
Everything he can do to be the biggest thorn in the side of the populist movement.
Well, and he made a post recently because he's been going on and back and forth with Milo, which I've been thoroughly enjoying. And he made a post. Oh, this is what you're trying to do to me, Milo, and it's bad jacketing, I think is
Yeah.
what they called it. And it's like, okay, just making somebody guilty by association or making them look bad or trying to ruin their character by associating with them. And it's like, dude, that's exactly what you do. You are bad jacketing the conservative movement, the Trump movement, MAGA movement, the populist movement, like you said, Steve.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he does. But he knows he's read the rules for radicals. He knows that you always accuse the people, accuse your opponents of doing what you yourself are doing.
Oh, absolutely. He's never answered for why nothing happened to him after January 6th. It's always misdirection, and
He always cries and goes, "Oh, well, they canceled my bank account and I was on a no-fly list." And it's like, no, apparently he was on the no-fly list with one specific airline because he was like getting mouthy with some stewardess or something like that. But he uses that to raise money, though, too. So he makes himself the victim, and then he uses that to raise money. Oh yeah, I can't even have a bank account or something like that. And then people are like, "Oh, okay, well, we'll donate to him." I've even heard a rumor that he was using a lot of his super chats to re-super chat, so that way it looks like people are donating, so that way inspires other people to donate as well. Talk about
A
it's like,
Democrat. He's a freaking Democrat.
yeah, or a Fed. I guess he keeps saying, "Oh well, I'm not a federal agent. I'm not a federal agent." And it's like, okay, but you don't have to be a literal federal agent to be a Fed, right?
Yeah.
you can be a confidential human source. You can be an informant. You can be an agitator. Listen, I don't know who we think we're fooling here. Just because you're working for the government doesn't mean you receive a paycheck and you went to school for it. There's any one of a million people. They said, remember the kidnapping up in Michigan when they were going to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. Those the feds in that case did not work for the federal government. They were all informing to get their sentences reduced. And
Is
it was
that true? I thought there was like 14 federal
there may,
agents.
there may have been employees, but there was also informants. And
Really?
then there was like two dumb guys that they kept giving Visa cards to go buy weed and Doritos with.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know it, and it's not the only time. And I don't know if anyone else noticed this. It's tangentially related, and I want to ask it while it's on my mind. Um, so you guys know about Operation Chokehold because you mentioned the bank accounts getting taken away.
No, remind me. Remind
Okay,
us.
that was something that Obama put in place that said if you were involved in any kind of terrorism, they could take your bank account. Right? It's called
Okay.
Operation Chokehold. Then Biden comes into office and designates white Catholics as a terrorist group. What was
Yes.
the plan there, do you think?
To
Debank anyone who
debank,
disagreed.
make their
Any
lives difficult.
anyone who came out against Islam or anything like that.
Okay, Operation Choke Point.
Was it choke point? Yeah, I
Is
couldn't
that what it
remember.
is? Yeah. The purpose,
Yeah.
the DOJ, in collaboration with agencies like the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, sought to detect and prevent fraud by focusing on choke points, reputational risks. Okay, and then to encourage banks to vet or drop clients in industries like payday lending, firearms, or other listed high risk activities.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a good way to stifle dissent. What a good way to. It's like soft tyranny. You
Uh-huh.
know, it's a way to attack normal everyday citizens and patriots, or just anti-establishment people.
It's what they did with the Patriot Act because after 9/11, I don't remember a lot of people being real fired up about it. They were like, yeah, they're going to go after the terrorists. But then they moved the goalposts. They kept moving the goalposts till it was on the other side of you. You said, wait a minute, why are you listening to me? Why is Edward Snowden saying they record every call, text message, and email that we have?
So, do you think what Edward Snowden did was treason? Even Trump's kind of seems to be unfriendly to Snowden.
I do not think it was treason. I think it was absolutely his patriotic duty. And even if Trump, listen, the intelligence agent, Chuck Schumer said it in Trump's first term. If you mess with the intelligence agencies, they have 6 ways a Sunday of getting back at you. Said it on TV. He wasn't supposed to. So I think someone in the intelligence agency says if you pardon Edward Snowden, it's game over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crooks won't miss.
Yeah. Same thing with the Epstein files.
Absolutely. And whatever's left in there, because they added a bunch of garbage that they've already investigated, fake claims by people who didn't exist, that Melania was worked for Epstein, all these different things. And that's why you see people like Jamie Ratskin calling for just the Trump part of the file.
Yeah, of course.
Did you guys notice that the 2 judges, the one in Florida and the one in New York, blocked the court transcripts from coming out?
That's right. Obama
Very,
appointed judges. Obama appointed judges.
very curious indeed. So that's where the meat is. But go
Well,
ahead.
so what I'm thinking though here, okay, so we have Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff was intentionally leaking classified intelligence for political purposes. So people are saying that's treason, right? So if Adam Schiff does it, why is it different when he does it versus Snowden? Maybe because it's not for political purposes?
Yep, that would be a big part of it. Um, the fact that he's a sitting senator, and like you said, he's not doing it for political purposes. He's doing it because he got the job, and he said, "Wait a minute,
Something's wrong.
yeah, this is
They're
not
abusing their power, and the people need to know about it.
absolutely." I mean,
Yes.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say Snowden was revealing like infringement on American rights, basically. And
Well, Adam Schiff was just doing the same thing. Donald
Except,
Trump is a Russian spy, and he's just trying to do the right thing by stopping a Russian spy from getting into the Oval Office.
I
He's
think
just doing
they
his patriotic duty, Silas.
well I'm sure they have evidence that he knew otherwise, and that's the difference. Snowden, uncovered something and he had to reveal it. Schiff, maybe if he really did think the intel was good, he wouldn't be doing it behind the scenes and like leaking stuff. He would let the process actually go through lawfully so that he could make sure Trump got caught or whatever.
Well, maybe he wouldn't have got censured if he did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, frickin' guy.
Lock him up.
Mm-hmm.
Lock him up. Lock him up.
Send him to Atlantis Alcatraz.
Atlantis Alcatraz?
Absolutely.
What's that?
That's underwater. You don't know about that one.
Oh, okay.
At the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Swim around with the mermaids.
Well, do we think anything's actually going to happen? I think, okay, sometimes I like to think when it comes to politics, what's everybody saying? What's the right saying? What's the left saying? What's Trump saying? What is the left saying? They're saying, oh, all of this, cracking down on crime in DC and everything that Trump is doing, talking about going after Obama and using Tulsi Gabbard as a mouthpiece to go out there and accuse top Democrats of treason is just a distraction, right? It's just a distraction from the Epstein files. It's kind of interesting how they never cared about the Epstein files until Trump's in office, and they just know that he can't release them for whatever reason, and so they're just going to use that, and then it immediately goes to Trump's a pedo. You guys are all just pedos, pedo protectors.
So that would be fine if we didn't know that Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, was a documented Mossad agent, and he fell off his boat and had a heart attack right when they were going to charge him. Isn't that really weird?
Was he documented a Mossad agent?
Mm-hmm.
How do we know that? I'm just fact checking. I'm just asking questions, guys.
How many people do you know who have the former Prime Minister of Israel at their funeral?
Well, I don't know any.
Exactly.
But the claim that Robert Maxwell was a Mossad agent is widely discussed but contentious allegation.
Is that Wikipedia?
No, I'm on Grok right now. Okay. Supported by some sources and questioned by others due to lack of definitive evidence. Evidence supporting the claim: Ari Ben Meshash allegations. Ari Ben Menashi, a former Israeli intelligence operative, claimed in the early 1990s that Maxwell and Nicholas Davies, the foreign editor of the Daily Mirror, were longtime Mossad agents. He alleged Maxwell played a role in selling Promise software, which was reportedly modified with a backdoor by an Israeli intelligence to enable global surveillance.
Well, my best evidence is that he played the role that the CIA has done in the United States with media. And he was a big media guy and owned a lot of media and was influencing, the mindset with media. And that seems to be a common spot that intel agents get into. At least, if not the very top, they're right next to the top advising with blackmail.
Operation Mockingbird, right?
Yeah, of course.
And it never stopped.
Yeah.
They're still doing it.
Well, it's Nick Fuentes. It's the influencer class. It's they're funneling money through super chats and through NGOs, and foreign money is dumping into all these influencers. I don't think that I just don't believe in coincidences, and I just don't think that anybody who's famous in the political world isn't a Fed, pretty much. I'm erring on the side of they are a Fed or some sort of foreign intel agent or asset.
I would agree with most. I think there may be some genuine, but I think once you reach the higher echelons, you have to have some kind of backing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just going to be able to do it yourself. But then again, what do I know?
Hey, your opinion is just as valid as little Nicky. Well, but I'm glad to see the war between Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens. I'm on the Candace Owens side on this one. And it's fun to see. I mean, I don't know. There's something funky going on in that whole world of the woke right, I guess, for lack of a better term. But it's funny to see them all fighting. And sometimes I do wonder, is it really just kind of a publicity stunt to just gain more attention? Or is the spat real? Kind of like with the Elon versus Trump thing. It kind of felt like it wasn't real, but at times it felt like it was totally real. Notice
I
how
mean,
Elon's totally backed off. He doesn't even talk politics anymore, which is probably better.
Trump did say recently, and nobody covered it. He said Elon's a good guy. He just had to leave government to get Tesla back in order. And if he would have just walked out, on friendly terms with Trump, they'd still be boycotting him. They'd still be attacking him. So he founds this phony party that he's completely dropped. But everybody's moved on. It was long enough to get everybody to move on.
Well, I remember Trump saying he had a bad moment or something like that. It was pretty close to that phrasing. Like it was, I believe he's a good guy, but he had a bad moment or something like that. And
I
I like the idea of him and Scott Bessent having like a little skirmish in the White House. And
yeah,
then I like the idea that Elon got a black guy from Scott Bessent. So I'm going to choose to believe that story. But
something like that. But I mean, his extreme. He's autistic, so he focuses in on something,
Mm-hmm.
and not understanding that politics is a game of give and take. That Trump can't just say, "Well, we're just going to cut this," because he doesn't control the money. Congress does. And we all know there's neocons, there's Lindsey Grahams, there's Scott, there's Thunes, there's all these people that are not going to vote for him, and they're showing it now. They're they're sandbagging the agenda, and they're dividing us as much as they can. I think they hope in 2026 they can take back more influence.
yeah, well, one thing I'm definitely, I don't want to say afraid of, but concerned about is the pendulum swing, that inevitable pendulum swing that, most presidents lose the House,
Yeah.
lose the midterms. So it would be, I mean, I'm expecting, I know Adrian mentioned it too, like just expecting to lose the midterms. But it would be nice to not lose them because it's going to be impeachment after impeachment. It's just going to be crazy clown circus, you know, more Adam Schiff nonsense. So I'm hoping that maybe this redistricting will at least save some of the bleeding of that pendulum swing.
Well, the redistricting, voter ID, same day elections, no counting California for 3 months,
Yeah.
none of that.
Yeah, counting these illegals. So somebody told me on X that Trump already tried to sue about the census using illegal aliens for the census to inflate their seats, and that the Supreme Court did rule that they can count the illegals, which I thought was kind of insane. But apparently he's trying to do the census again and without the illegals. But if they can get as many deported, Stephen Miller said that there was 1 million self deportations, and we've been having about 50,000 deportations per month, and it's increasing. And they're focusing in on blue areas like California, LA. So I wonder if they can manage to, eke out a win in the midterms.
It's possible, but if we don't stop infighting, it's never going to happen. And we need to start seeing some results. Some good things need to start happening beyond the deportations, beyond the little victories here and there. We really need to see some tangible results. And I'll tell you what, if we do not have any arrests, any indictments by then, you can just throw the towel in. 2 years of Hakeem Jeffries pulling a Nancy Pelosi, and then we're going to get whatever DEI candidate they have in 2028.
Well, what do you think, Silas? Could a DEI candidate actually win? Are they going to run another woman, another female BIPOC person of color
No.
DEI candidate?
I think their only option is to come back to center, because they have to know, the far left is a very small portion. They're just really loud. And to really start winning back everything, you have to get back to some sort of common sense. So I think they need to introduce new characters, really, and maybe convert some of the popular ones to more common sense instead of focusing on the far left type of things, the 2080 issues or however you put it. So, and I think the pendulum won't swing back until that happens.
Until they swing back to the center.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that brings up this clip I wanted to show. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. We've got a new front runner for the Democratic Party, and his name is Beto O'Rourke. Let's see what he has to say.
We're not going to let him stop us. Are you with me on that? Ándale. It also means, as Mark was saying earlier, we don't await the punch thrown by these would-be fascists to land. We punch first, and we punch harder. We want California and New Jersey and Illinois and Maryland and every other state where the Democrats hold the governor's mansion, the assembly, and the state senate to redraw their congressional districts now, not wait for Texas to move first, to maximize Democratic Party advantage. Listen, you may say to yourself, well, those aren't the rules. There are no refs in this game. Fuck the rules. We are going to win whatever it takes. We're going to take this to them in every way that we can. We're not.
So, is that the future of the Democratic Party?
Robert O'Rourke, 3-time loser? No, I don't think so.
Why is he calling himself Beto? Is he trying to like...
I'll tell you why. Do you know who Bill de Blasio is?
Mm-hmm. He was
former
the former
mayor
mayor
of New York.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who Warren Wilhelm is?
No.
Same guy.
Oh.
That's why he calls himself Beto.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage's name isn't actually Nicolas Cage.
Nicholas Coppola.
Yeah, that's right. All the world is a stage, my friends.
So he calls himself Beto because it's a Hispanic name. And that's why he said Andale.
Because he's trying to appeal to his Latinx base.
Taco Bell is more Mexican than he is.
Well, he's saying the right things. I mean, I was watching Fox News, as I do, and they were showing some poll numbers, and it was it's just basically Democrats. The Democrat voters want a fighter. They want somebody who's out there actually fighting. They want somebody to actually do something. And so I think Beto's message that he just said about, F the rules and we're going to do whatever it takes and we're going to fight. We're not going to wait for them to punch us. We're going to punch. We're going to be the first ones to throw the punch. I think that's actually a winning strategy on that side.
So did you hear the poll that they polled a bunch of Democrats and a bunch of them want violence?
No, I didn't see that poll.
Yeah, if you can grok that real quick.
Yeah, here, let me see.
They want, because they're so cooked up by the media to think this is Germany in the 1930s.
Yep. It's Mussolini. It's Hitler. It's all of the fascists rolled into some sort of super fascist, some uber fascist.
Yeah, I mean, there's no fascism in a vaccine mandate, but...
That's right. There's a poll about Democrats wanting violence. Let's see what Grok has to say.
I was careful on how I worded it because I don't remember the exact wording.
There are several polls that have explored attitudes toward political violence among Americans, including Democrats, but no single poll directly states Democrats want violence as a blanket statement. 2024 poll... Let's see, 17% of registered voters overall believed the U.S. would be better off if former President Donald Trump had been killed in an assassination attempt. That's a wild number. 17% of registered voters I mean, it doesn't say Democrat voters.
Yeah.
Among Democrats, 28% agreed with this statement. 28%. That's what that is the most insane thing I've ever heard. And I think of my grandma. My grandma's a big lib. I mean, I'm surprised she doesn't have blue hair. And she hates Trump with a passion, and she hates me for not hating him. She's civil with me generally, but we've had some pretty heated arguments. But I just think about what MSNBC did to my grandma. Like they scrambled her brain. It's so sad to see. And to think that what, 28%, what was it? 28% of Democrats think that it would have been better if he would have been killed in an assassination. That is so insane. It boggles the mind. And people wonder why there's so much political disagreement. It's because of the media. And it seems like some sort of black magic witchcraft trance that everybody's in. You know, it's scary, actually. It seems like the United States is just one big mental asylum.
Yeah.
Well, when they repeat the same things, when they all say the same words over and over, it does hypnotize you. Hypnotism is very real. So,
Well, and some people are more susceptible to hypnosis than others, too.
of course, but the people that have it on in the background or listen to, and that's the same argument they use against conservative podcasts. Oh, they listen to them conservative podcasts and they drone on and say the same things, which is not true. But that's why they can't have a successful podcast, because the podcast is saying the same thing that the news nobody wants to watch is saying. Jim Acosta's interviewing an AI version of a dead kid. What are we even doing? You guys saw that, right?
Yeah, it's horrible.
It was
What are we even doing? Well, and then you got South Park out there taking a new turn. Of course, they had to go full on political, and they were basically ripping a new one. Ripping the right wing podcasters a new one, and then they put Trump in bed with Satan and stuff like that. But I'm wondering, South Park really fell off. It seems like they just lost their magic. I don't know if they sold out. I don't know if they, I don't know, lost their minds or just throwing spaghetti at the wall to try and find new things. Does anybody watch South Park anymore?
I just watch it now to see how crazy they're getting, but there is a potential meta level to this thing with Trump, how they're making fun of him. Like they're making fun of the stuff they tried to make fun of him for like 10 years ago. It's, old stuff. So if you think about it deeper, they're saying the biggest diss to Trump is if he were gay. And that's actually the biggest diss to the LGBT community. So
That's right.
there's like a weird like sub thought there.
Like
I don't know if they're doing that on purpose or if, they're just
Yeah.
running out of ideas or whatever.
It's like a meta jest.
Right. Yeah,
so-
it's making fun of both sides still.
So, one story.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys know that the first episode of South Park aired 28 years ago today?
Whoa.
Just a fun fact for you.
Today, really?
Yes, August 13th, 1997 was the first episode of South Park.
Crazy.
I'm a huge South Park fan, but to be honest with you, ever since the PC Principle, Integrity Farms, it's not funny anymore. They lost the spontaneity. Yes, they produce it in a week, but it's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
They were
Well-
pro-vax. Everybody sleeps on that.
Were they?
Yeah.
You mean in the show or the creators?
No, in the show. Go back and watch South Park post-COVID. It's completely pro-vax. They made fun of anti-vaxxers and anti-science people. And
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that people actually they don't realize the extent that the pharmaceutical industry has their tentacles in all the different media. A lot of people complain about the Jews and the Jews control the media, or the Democrats and the establishment and the CIA. But I think it's actually a little bit, there's that pharmaceutical money is definitely a big problem in media as well.
Well, the people who don't understand how advertising work are the people who are okay with pharmaceutical companies advertising.
Well, and I'm still waiting for RFK Jr. to ban those pharmaceutical ads. The best he could do was ban food stamps from being used for soda and sugary drinks, which I'll
That's a
take
great
it.
step. Yeah.
It's a first step. You got to take what you can get in politics, but I mean, I'm waiting for a little bit more. I'm waiting for some radical change here.
Well, so you know that he had fluoride ready to be pulled out of the water, and Pam Bondi put a stop to it.
What? What
Oh
is
yeah.
with her? I feel
Well,
like she's
Fed.
just there to be the
there's
ding.
well, technically yes.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
I mean, I've thought she's part of the deep state since the older Epstein days when she was involved with it. Then
Well, there's some scuttlebutt that she may be lobbying or had some ties to pharmaceutical lobbying. But the dyes are coming
Well,
out of the food,
that's good. That's
and
good.
people are aware of it now.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are just gonna if you tell them the sky is blue, they're gonna argue it's red.
I'm an optimist. And I think especially when you hang out on X, and I know X is not real life, ladies
No.
and gentlemen, but when you hang out on X, it's just nothing is ever enough. And I understand that because you have to keep pushing and pressuring in order to get what you need or to get the most out of it. But I'm personally happy if we can get small incremental changes. I'm an incrementalist. Most people, especially on X, are not incrementalists. I am, and just for example, real quick, a tangent. During the 2024 campaign, Trump and Melania specifically, they were really backing off of the abortion issue. They did not want to lose this election based off of that issue. And there was tons of people on X, especially all of the pro-life abolitionists and stuff like that, the influencers, the pro-life influencers, people like Lila Rose or the Abolitionist Rising, which we played one of Silas, you actually won Cuck of the Week with Abolitionist Rising clip one time. And they were all saying, nope, we cannot in good conscience vote for Donald Trump because he's not an abolitionist. And I just kept saying, like, life is just not like that. You're not going to get what you want. You need to take an incrementalist type of view or strategy in order to actually get anything done. Okay, yeah, and we've talked about this like 50 times, Steve. Yeah, let's go ahead and just hand the federal government over to literal demons and Satan worshiping psychopaths just because I'm not going to get what I want when it comes to abortion, even though Trump is single-handedly responsible for overturning Roe v. Wade. So incrementalism is the way. Let's see, Blondie. Did any of you guys hear about RFK's Mitch McConnell's episode?
No.
No. Not sure.
Well,
Did he freeze up or something? I wonder if is that what happened, Blondie? Let us know. Send
I
us
was
a
going to
clip.
say while you're looking that up, one of the biggest voices since he's not going to abolish abortion, we got to shut it down. Nick Fuentes.
Wait, say
He
that again.
railed on it. He said Trump is not going to shut down abortion, so vote against him. Stay home, vote for Harris. And that right there tells me, because he says, well, Trump doesn't go far enough, because that's the talking point that Fuentes has. Trump isn't far enough right. So you're going to vote for the left because the guy isn't far enough right for you? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Insane. I mean, it's definitely only something a Fed would say.
Now, there's a lot of black pillars and doomers out there who are just like, let it end. And I'm not
Yeah.
ready to give up yet.
Well, and then there's when it comes to the abortion issue, just real quick. Okay, Blondie, yes, froze up. I have no other details. Thank you, Blondie. He froze up apparently. Let's well, I'll try to find a clip of that for sure because that well, Dang, he's like the healthiest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
He's also 78.
He is a little bit old.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So, but another thing, just a quick thing about abortion. I think we're kind of like derailing a little bit,
Yeah.
but just one other quick thing about it is that, and this is something that tells you a lot about politics as well, is that Republicans, especially the older, more establishment neocon type Republicans, they love abortion. They don't want to ban abortion because that's what they fundraise on. They're able to get all this money, all these campaign donations based off of running on fighting for the unborn. But if somebody actually did manage to get rid of that issue or to ban abortion, then there goes all that money. Where's that money going to come from?
Same with guns.
It's same with, yep, exactly. And pretty much every issue, even crime. I'm sure there's so many cynical politicians out there, especially on the right, that are saying, "No, we like crime because then I can run on that issue." So then you get into a darker aspect of like a grander political strategy. That's, no, I actually like the country to be messed up so that way I can fundraise on it.
Well, yeah, I can claim I'm going to fix it. And when I
Exactly.
don't, I blame it on everyone but myself.
Politics 101, ladies and gents. Well, what else did we have in the news?
I was just going to mention the Democrats are admitting a few things through their wording as of late, like Beto pretty much admitting that there's no rules and there hasn't been any rules. And then they're calling Trump's administration the revenge administration. And the only time you do revenge is if you've been wronged. So it's like they're admitting that they've wronged him. So it's, yeah, they're just running out of lies and ways to make it work with their current like cultural influence.
Well,
Their power is waning.
Yeah.
have you guys noticed that all the big Democrat politicians have stopped talking about transgenders and it's gone.
That's right.
Because if you haven't noticed, the transgenders sure have. Wait a minute,
That's
they
for sure.
used me? Yeah, they used
Yep.
you.
They're no longer usable, so they have to come back to center and focus on different things.
I don't see. I just searched on X. RFK Jr. freezes up. I don't see anything interesting. Blondie, you'll have to,
Maybe his
if
AI.
you see that clip again, DM, please. Well, there are, so the left is, they are utopian, but they're also what would you call it? When you're always kind of fear mongering about the Armageddon. They're always, they're alarmists. The world's always ending,
Death
but they're
cult.
also utopians at the same time. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've psychologized the left until we're blue in the face on this
Well,
show.
they've been divided and conquered so much that there's weird behavior happening instead of a natural formation of their, beliefs and thoughts. It happens in cults, obviously, where you're just kind of split off from the majority and taught a different way to look at the world.
Okay, RFK is 73 years old and was on Larry Kudlow on July 23rd, and the article says he blamed it on his earpiece. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's just give RFK Jr. the benefit of the doubt and say it was the earpiece. It was a technical malfunction, guys.
Feds feeding into his earpiece. God damn it.
Like they're always trying to do to our show here.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't a wardrobe malfunction.
All right, what do we got? We covered the census stuff. Okay, we got Trump and Putin plan to meet for a peace summit in Alaska. Now, it would be nice if we could get an end to pretty much the biggest war in the last, I mean, Gosh, that's probably the biggest war. The Ukraine war is probably the biggest war in the past, what, 30, 40, 50 years?
Yeah.
It would be nice if we can get this thing ended. And I'm kind of bummed because my boy DJT said it was going to be ended on day one. And you know what? Here's another aspect of just being a realist is that I'm not going to turn my back on Trump and the MAGA movement and become a libtard Democrat and dye my hair blue because Trump wasn't able to get it done on day one. I mean, that's a crazy war. And what's Putin? If Putin ends the war just because Trump asks him to, that makes Putin look weak. And Putin is not about to make himself look weak.
Well, you've heard what Trump is going to do if Putin accepts and Zelensky doesn't, right?
No.
He's going to take away all the intel that they use to launch their weapons.
Yeah.
He's going to stop funding it. What he didn't count on was NATO going all in on keeping this going. Starmer and Macron, and I have to always stop when I say his name because I always almost call him the Mexican Epsler.
The Mexican what?
Epsler.
Epsler. Oh.
Epsler, you can't say it.
Epsler.
Get you in trouble. And Mertz.
Mm-hmm.
They're all dedicated, and they were going to raise a 500,000 man UN peacekeeping group, but they can't. They can't raise it. They can't support it with funds.
Yeah. Well, I guess if they're going to pay for it, I want the war to end, just like Trump says, to stop the dying, stop the killing, not necessarily just because we're paying for it. A lot of libertarians and people on the right and MAGA people, they're just like, well, I just don't want to pay for it. If they want to pay for it themselves, or if Europe wants to pay for it, then go ahead. And I don't care that much about the money part. I just want people to stop dying, and it's insane.
You can want both.
That's true.
Truthfully, there's a clip I have it somewhere of Biden saying, his biggest concern was to the people in Ukraine have a little bit of money in their pocket. That's why we're paying for their politicians.
Mm-hmm.
We're paying their pensions.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and we're paying for the retirements of all the politicians in Ukraine.
Yeah,
it's one thing to send them weapons, but no, we're actually paying their salaries too.
Yeah,
they owe us something. They owe us a lot at this point, and there's no way they're gonna actually, repay the debt.
No,
there's no
we
way.
have the deal that we get to rebuild their country, and we get to fund it with their rare earth minerals.
Right. And it's the biggest bread basket in the world, isn't it? Ukraine.
Yes. The best farming soil in the world.
Well,
I feel like
go ahead.
Sorry, I just feel like Trump has some sort of ace up his sleeve for him to be able to come into all these wars, like some we've never heard of.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, 35 years of fighting stops.
Mm-hmm.
There's some sort of deal, and I think it's based on economics, but I think it's a technology that he or the United States is going to present soon. Mm-hmm. And if you want to be a part of this new economy or this next stage, the golden age, as he would call it, then you have to stop fighting, and war will pretty much diminish the economics of this next thing, whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm. Says here, Ukraine's farmland is indeed some of the most fertile in the world, largely due to its Chernozem soil. Anybody ever heard of that word? Chernozem soil. A black, nutrient-rich type that covers about 2/3 of the country. This soil, combined with a temperate climate and adequate rainfall, makes Ukraine a global agricultural powerhouse. Nice. About 71% of Ukraine's land, 41 million hectares, gosh, I can't read today, or they're just weird words, is agricultural, with 32 million hectares arable. Interesting.
Well, that reminds me of the black dirt that they found in the Amazon. Similar, super dense.
Yeah, and it probably has a lot of nitrogen in it. I think nitrogen-rich soils are very dark. Like, for example, you can feed a plant your coffee grounds. The coffee grounds
Oh,
have
right.
nitrogen in them, and plants thrive on nitrogen. A little fun fact from my old weed growing days. Yes, I was indeed a libtard. I posted the other day. Yes, I was a liberal, but I was never a Democrat. I mean, who? It's so weird to me that anybody is a Democrat.
Yeah.
It's like liking the Backstreet Boys or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what? Like, come on.
Well, a lot of people, you get that cult mentality, the herd mentality, and my favorite celebrity or Taylor Swift or her girlfriend Travis Kelsey, they're Democrats. That's who Captain Pfizer. He's a Democrat, so that's what I need to do with my time.
That's right.
And
People are inherently, or let's see, people are tribal by nature,
mhm.
and so they're looking to belong. Not everybody can be Sigma badasses like us. Pave your own way. Forge your own path. Come on, guys. Don't just be followers. But you know
Well,
why they are is because it's actually hard and it takes bravery, and people are lazy, and they are risk averse.
so what I don't understand is everybody knows the famous LBJ quote, right?
I think I know what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. We'll have them voting for us for the next 100 years.
Hey, say the whole thing,
No, no, no.
Steve.
I'm good. I got enough problems in my life. Um, how is that public knowledge? And there are people of color who are willing to vote Democrat. They know that. I
Because
think
of the big switch, Steve.
the big
The
switch.
big switch.
When did that
Didn't you
happen?
know the parties
Yeah.
actually switched sides
When did that happen?
magically?
Because I can never get an answer.
The Southern strategy.
Uh-huh.
I think Richard Nixon's Southern strategy. He saw that all these racist people in the South, that was actually a fertile ground for a new voting bloc. Let's appeal to the racists, even though
Yeah.
the Democrats are the party of slavery and Jim
I,
Crow and
George Wallace and Robert Byrd
and the KKK.
who's that? Who's Robert Byrd? I mean, he didn't have a sitting president at his funeral, right?
Yeah, it's Joe Biden's best buddy.
Or he
Wasn't
was
Obama
vice
there too?
president. He may have been, yeah.
It blew my mind when I found out Democrats were on the wrong side of history throughout history.
The Republican Party was created to end slavery.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And that's one thing they don't teach you in school.
They
They're
don't
always saying, "Oh, the Republicans are trying to take out history. They're trying to take out slavery out of the history classes in elementary school because they don't want people to know that they were like the bad guys." And it's like, no, actually, you guys were the ones who were enslaving the blacks, and also you pretty much wrote the policies that the Nazis stole and implemented, and they just crossed out the word Negro and wrote in the word Jew. And all of their policies were the exact same. The Nazis were progressives, and they looked up to the Democrats, and the Democrats generally were progressives back in the day too. So progressive Democrats in the 30s, the 20s and 30s, the party of Margaret Sanger, the eugenics, and party of segregation. Yeah, they were a bunch. They were all, they were thick as thieves. They loved
Well,
each other.
at least Margaret Sanger didn't create any organizations that receive taxpayer funding now.
Well, hey, not anymore. Or
Yeah.
at least greatly reduced, my friend. And that is a win, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to celebrate. Planned Parenthood is essentially defunded in many, many states. I'm going to look it up right now how many locations have been closed. And it just pisses me off that people were not going to vote for Trump because he wasn't radical enough in the abolitionism. But really, what's the effect? The effect is defunding, the reversal of Roe v. Wade, and the defunding of countless Planned Parenthoods. I'm going to look it up to see how many. How many?
South Park made fun of how the Republicans are putting Jesus back in the school or something like that too. And
Yes.
there's like kind of a meta joke on that one too, because he's walking around, you know, like glowing and obviously divine, and none of the kids are reaching out to him. They're just walking past and talking about their day. It's so funny.
Is it really that bad to teach kids about Jesus?
Of course it is. It interferes with all the Aleister Crowley,
Hmm.
that kind of teaching. Plus, you can't have them get too into Jesus because when all the Muslims get here, we're gonna have real problems.
That's right.
Did you have a chance to watch that video I sent you the other day?
About the yes, I did about the wiping. They're
But
saying that. Go ahead, explain it for the people.
so it was an imam, which is a Islamic priest, and he was explaining that we're not advanced because we use toilet paper. Because as we all know, people who practice Islam use their left hand. Never shake hands with a person,
Well, the same thing with those smelly Indian people.
Yeah, well. But
So
at the end of it, he says that they're here to liberate us
yeah, yep,
because they genuinely believe that they are more advanced,
yeah,
which is hilarious.
yeah. Well, Islam is dangerous because they really are an ideology that is rooted in global domination. You know,
And hatred.
they and hatred. That's right. So it looks like about 200 clinics, abortion clinics, have closed.
That's four
So
per state.
you guys are saying Islam was behind the toilet paper shortage, and
That's exactly what we're saying. I'm glad you're catching on, Silas. No, I think you're right about South Park though too, Silas. I do think that there are meta jests that are going on, like you said about the LGBTQ.
and they just don't see it, and
Yeah,
so that makes it even funnier if they are approaching it that way.
I don't know about the meta jest when it came to that Trump episode where he's in bed with Satan. I thought that was just not funny and just weird.
No, yeah,
It was
But
recycled.
yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
the
using that
podcaster,
same character.
yeah, in the podcaster episode, the clips that I saw were actually kind of funny, where Cartman is like doing the Charlie Kirk debating the college kids and stuff. I
Yes.
thought that was pretty funny.
The best part is he's picking up his water bottle like every 3 seconds,
And
just
put it down.
unscrewing it, and
Yeah.
screwing it back.
Well, and you know, Charlie Kirk's not my favorite. I think I personally, just on a personal level, I think he's a little cringe. But I do like that he is able to laugh at himself. You know, the people on the right generally are able to laugh at themselves. I wish the left was able to laugh at themselves a little bit, because that's how you can kind of stay sane, is with a little bit of self-deprecating humor, not taking yourself too seriously. And I wish that I could talk some sense into them. I wish I could get some of, we've talked about this, Steve, like the unicorn. We can't find any sane liberals that are willing to have a sane, civil conversation. If anybody out there, if you know somebody, a sane liberal, please connect them with us. Or if you are a sane liberal and you're somehow hate watching this show, please come on and talk with us. I'm dying to talk with somebody who disagrees with me. I even take false positions on this show because I'm dying to have disagreements. Because that's how you sharpen your positions, and that's how you get smarter. That's how you get wiser, is by exposing yourself to ideas that maybe you don't agree with. So please, any sane liberals, I am summoning you to the TPR. I would love to do a debate show someday. It would be so fun to find some people that can actually debate. What is there? There's like two liberals that debate, two or three. There's Sam Cedar, Mehdi Hassan, and Destiny. That's they're not sending their best.
But do they debate or do they just get loud and
Yeah, they
talk
just try
fast?
to control the conversation. They don't
And
know
that's-
how to debate.
A good debate, both sides should cede some points.
Yeah.
Everybody in the audience should come away with a little bit of a different perspective and different information.
Yeah.
And the problem with modern debates is it's like a gladiator kind
Yeah.
of situation where everyone just wants to go in and hammer their points.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
And they're clip farming, really, because they're just influencers. Like somebody like Destiny will take the craziest position just so that way he can gain attention, just so that way he can engagement farm, so that way he can make some cash, and it's just a giant grift.
When Sam Cedar went on Tim Pool and debated him, he literally, after blowing up and taking over the conversation for like 5 minutes, he was like, "Okay, that's the clip I wanted to get."
He literally said that.
He says it live.
Oh
Like,
my gosh. He's
I don't
like,
even know who that is.
Sam
And I'm
Cedar,
proud to not.
he
Proud
was
to
on
not know.
the Jubilee. What do they
Oh.
call it? It's like where they have like 20
They
20 liberals
encircle you.
against Charlie Kirk or whatever.
When Jordan Peterson got blown out by a child.
That was the worst episode ever. I was so pissed off as somebody who's pretty
yeah.
engaged in the Christian apologetics world and like defending the worldview with facts and logic. Seeing Jordan Peterson on there defending Christianity and be like, "I never said I was a Christian." I was like, dude, this is just so
I
embarrassing. Get
lost
this guy.
respect for him.
Yeah,
A lot of respect, really.
that was horrible. Why even go on the show if you're not even gonna take this position of the prompt that you're supposed, or the position that you're supposed to be defending?
It's
So
like
annoying.
he was trying to do the whole flip it back on them the whole time, and it never worked out the way he wanted it to, and it just made him look foolish, really.
Yeah,
A lot of the people who came up in that 2016 cycle, him, Milo, a lot of them turned out to be very, very disappointing
yeah,
in the long run.
yeah.
He came in hot. He was this guy in Canada who wasn't gonna use pronouns and all that, and now he just talks like he sucked on some helium, wears ridiculous suits,
And cries all the time.
yeah.
His lectures are really good. He has a lecture for anybody who's interested in philosophy. That he has a really good lecture. It's called Heidegger and Phenomenology. You can find it on his YouTube channel. It's very, very good. His lectures on Jung, Nietzsche, Heidegger, and Hegel are top notch. Super good. He's a great professor. As a media personality, I think he's kind of lost his magic. But
Not everybody's
is life.
skilled at everything.
yeah, such is life.
Should have stuck to cleaning your room.
Imagine how clean his room must be. Jordan
I don't know.
Peterson. Well, Milo, I got a love-hate with Milo, man. He is just so funny to me, but also just so disgustingly crass and insane. It's just like, whoo, follow. He's a crazy follow, but he's been hammering Nick Fuentes recently, and I'm here for it. Well, let's see what else we got. Harvard professor claims there's an extraterrestrial object heading toward Earth. Silas, my senior alien correspondent here, what do we think about this? Is this real? Is this just another psyop from the deep
Psyop.
state?
Psyop, space is fake, right? I think there is an object coming. A lot of lower level astronomers won't be able to observe it because it's approaching behind the sun, so they can make up kind of whatever they want as it approaches. So I think they're kind of loading the barrel in case they need to do the fake alien invasion scenario to try and take back power one last time. But they may not be able to do that by the time it gets here. I think 2027 or something like that. By then, maybe one of the trump card he's playing with all this peace deals is like he wants to reveal some aliens, and they won't reveal until we're at a moment of peace on Earth.
People are just so convinced that there's actual aliens, and by aliens I mean extraterrestrials that are from another planet that came over here in spaceships, and they're here, and the government's been hiding it since Roswell, and they've been manipulating our economy and our society for years, and the government knows about it. I am not convinced that an extraterrestrial, like an actual physical material being from another planet could actually come in a spaceship to another planet. I don't even know if interstellar travel is even possible.
Well, why would it have
It's
to be interstellar?
yeah. It may be within the solar system. These
Planet X or
Interdimensional?
or maybe way in the past from any of the planets that were
Mm.
in the Goldilocks zone at the time. And also do think concerning the ones that are potentially from another spot in the galaxy or another galaxy, they don't actually come here in their physical form. It's more of a technology of consciousness where
Yeah.
they can project their form.
Yes.
Or
And
they say the Greys are like that movie Avatar. The
right,
Greys
yeah,
aren't. They're like a body they can inhabit and control, but
exactly,
they're not. The consciousness is somewhere else.
exactly.
So I just got to ask. My inner coast to coast George Norrie listener would be completely crushed if I did not ask you this. What's your position on Bob Lazar?
Well,
I My
that's a good question.
position, I think, is that as of now, anyway, is that he was fed some information and put through projects as someone they knew would come out eventually, and so he has truth in what he's saying and what he observed, but it was planted as he was working on
So they
those
used him.
projects. Yeah, pretty much is kind of the feeling I'm getting, and he may not realize they could even do that at the time. You know.
It does seem kind of like a nerd, but he
Well, it's been a long time since I saw him. I think I saw him on Joe Rogan like what 7 or 8 years ago or something. What was his claim? Was he talking about how they saw some object like come out of the ocean or whatever, or is that a different guy?
that's a
That
different guy.
different
Okay.
guy. This is the guy that was in a base and
Mm.
he was
Area
trying to help.
51.
Yeah, he was trying to help reverse engineer some technology and saw some stuff as he was walking through, and it just seemed like they were staging stuff for him to observe and
Yeah.
release later.
That could explain the element that he knew about that didn't exist at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Um, I'm more I'm more convinced by some sort of time traveler theory than I am like extraterrestrials from another planet.
Or, like I said, extra dimensional.
Oh, absolutely. I 100% believe interdimensional uh, child molesters exist for sure. 100%. When
And
Alex Jones was on Joe Rogan, he's like, actually, it's interdimensional child molesters, and the government's
yes.
been talking with them, and they've been hiding it, and they're working with them, and they're
Mm-hmm.
trying. That's what they're doing with the open border. Is they're actually just getting a whole plethora of kids to feed to these interdimensional child molesters.
Mm-hmm. Truth.
And I think and it's funny because Alex Jones, he just says something like that, and people are just like, oh, that's fucking crazy and insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's actually what's happening.
What was I gonna say? Oh, so like if you really think about it, any humanoid physical species, in order to survive millions of years, you have to go inside your planet.
Okay.
So I think a lot of these aliens are actually inner Earth type of species that, especially the potential lizards and mantis.
Ooh, a mantis creature?
Yeah, it's like a giant mantis, praying mantis.
So Hollow Earth type of theory where
Yeah,
they're living down
maybe
underneath
not
the.
completely hollow, but like cavern, like honeycomb Earth is the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
So there's huge caverns, and they've, developed technology to where they can get everything they need underground, and not disrupt the surface as one point of evolving, and then also not being torched by the sun or like an asteroid coming down or floods or so many
Well,
different
that would be the probably
natural
the best
disasters.
way. That would probably be the best way to survive a an ice age.
Yeah,
Just dig down.
almost any age. if you can control your environment under the ground.
But
Seems
would
like
you
what the
get enough?
elites are doing now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
building their bunkers.
exactly.
It's interdimensional child molesters, okay?
That too. It's all of the above.
Yeah, that's right. Two things can be true at once, guys.
Hmm.
Okay, challenges of interstellar travel. Interstellar travel is theoretically possible, but faces massive challenges. Physics, as we understand it, doesn't forbid it. Special relativity allows for scenarios like time dilation at near light speeds, potentially enabling long journeys within a human lifetime from the traveler's perspective. Concepts like wormholes or Alcubierre's warp drive are mathematically plausible within general relativity, but they require exotic matter or energy conditions we haven't observed or produced. Practically, the hurdles are enormous: energy, distance, propulsion, hazards, time. So current tech is nowhere near close. Projects like Breakthrough Starshot aim for uncrewed probes at 15 to 20% of C, but even those are decades away from a reality. So, I mean, I guess theoretically it's possible, but it seems like the distances are so vast that, I mean, it would be what, millions of years, which the human species has only really been existed for what, 5,000 years? I'm just kidding. I don't know how long.
So, real quick, under my name, you see it says Chrononaut.
Yeah, I was wondering what that what is that, Steve?
So, have you ever noticed that the media never addresses the allegations that Michelle Obama is a man? And yes, this is connected.
Okay. You're casting a wide net here. He's doing the Trump weave.
This will make sense. But you've noticed that, right? They just do not address it, even though it's everywhere. Wired wrote an article debunking the fact that Barack Obama had been to Mars and he was not a secret chrononaut that traveled interdimensionally through a portal.
Why
Yeah.
even say that?
They had to debunk it.
Yeah, because there's big theories going out.
There's a big theory that Michelle Obama's a man too. So they treat these two stories differently.
Interesting. One's true.
One has to be. Back when he was Barry Sorito, was he on Mars?
Yep.
Or does Michelle have a hog?
Which one is more plausible?
That's a good question.
Steve, the chrononaut, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Well, I mean, one thing's for sure. I actually didn't have a finish to that sentence. I just
Oh, okay.
There has to be one thing at least for sure.
Well, one thing's for sure. He's the most divisive president of our lifetimes.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what pisses me off about the liberals. They're always like, oh, Trump is so divisive. He's so divisive. I'm like, okay, well, Jesus was divisive as well. He said, I didn't come to bring peace. I came to bring a sword and to divide the world. And I think divisiveness is actually what happens when you tell the truth. And so when you tell the truth claims are by definition exclusive. They exclude its opposite. And so, yeah, okay, so somebody's divisive. That means that they told the truth about something and that they're coming in to actually maybe fix something or, liberate us from an oppressive deep state. I mean, is they say it as if it's inherently evil to be a divisive person.
Well, I think it can go either way. A divisive person can be good or bad. Case in point, Obama and Trump. Obama was elected overwhelmingly by the African American community, which is funny because Joe Biden got more votes from black people in Chicago than Obama did in 2008. But we're not going to worry about that one. And he did nothing for them.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, I never thought that Obama was black. I saw through him from the very beginning, and Adrian sometimes is like, "Oh man, I voted for Obama the first time, and I still like kind of feel bad about it, pretty much." And I'm like, "Man, that sucks," because, like, what a horrible feeling to think that you voted for somebody like that who ramped up all the drone drone bombings that actually bombed, sovereign, innocent U.S. citizens, and ramped up all these wars and stuff like that, and did the exact opposite of everything he claimed to be about, and also everything he campaigned on. But I saw through him from the very beginning, and the reason why is because I grew up around a lot of black people, and that guy ain't black. I'm sorry. Maybe he's got a shade to him, but he ain't black, dude. And it's so funny when he tries to act black, and you see him like hanging out with Jay-Z and Beyonce and stuff, and it's like, this guy is not black. And he's also not a constitutional scholar, by the way. And
How
he's
about
probably not even American.
how about when he was telling black men, he says, "You're lucky my wife ain't here." What?
Because she'll
What?
get you.
Yeah. He'll leave a mushroom stamp on your forehead. What are you talking about?
What are we even doing?
I know, right? He's. I just don't get it. Yeah, no. He's a record breaking president. He holds the world record for most number of drone kills by a Nobel Prize winner.
Do you know what? I think we're gonna see a Nobel Peace Prize for DJT. I think we're gonna see it. If he can get this peace deal signed with Putin, of course the Dems are gonna hate it. They're gonna hate that peace breaks out, that he actually stops a war. It's so funny how he's able to get the Dems and the libs to be supportive of these issues. It's like, what is he doing? He's stopping crime in Washington D.C. What an insane person! What a fascist! What a dictator! He's stopped a war. Oh, he stopped 10,000 people from dying this week. What a monster! But I think we're going to see a Nobel Peace Prize from DJT, and I also want to see him on Mount Rushmore. Can I get an amen?
I would give you an amen on that. I'm at peace with that. It's a good idea.
Well, so I was gonna wrap it up at an hour and a half. We're at an hour and 22 minutes. Do you guys have a cuck of the week segment or a clip?
I surely do. I'll send it. I'll send it right over to you.
Awesome. Okay, me too. And Silas, you can go first this time. I have a backup
Okay.
just in case we chose the same one. But real quick before we do that, and go ahead and send that over, Steve,
Yep.
if you want to DM your clip. But I wanted to just ask you about your origins and your political journey.
Me?
Just real quick. Yeah. I'm just kind of curious. We've never talked about that. How did you come to your positions that you are today? Like for me, I'm kind of a former liberal, more of a hippie, like a weed smoking, music playing, like barefoot climbing the mountain type of liberal from California. And now I'm way more of a conservative Christian, borderline theocratic fascist, but I still have some of my liberal views. But I'm just curious about your origins since we've
Oh,
been, having you on and stuff. So I'm kind of curious. Like for me, I got woken up by COVID, basically. COVID really made me start paying attention. So I'm kind
so
of curious about your story.
originally born and raised in upstate New York. Now, when I say upstate New York, 15 minutes from, 45 minutes from Montreal. So 5, 6 hours away from New York City. Deep red area. Was mainly apolitical up until 1996. Bill Clinton and his, depends on what the definition of is, completely turned me off to Democrats. But for the most part, I was non-political. I just wanted to be left alone, to leave everyone alone.
Yeah.
And then Obama happened. Really kind of pushed me to be a populist. Now, I will tell you, 2008, 2012, I did not vote because I wasn't going to vote for John McCain or Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
That was a Sophie's choice. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They picked bad candidates to make conservatives stay home.
Controlled opposition.
Exactly, because it's two sides of the same coin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the Republicans ran their party the way that the Democrats do, they'd have super delegates, and we never would have had a President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Bernie Sanders won primaries but lost delegates because they just gave them to Hillary Clinton. They're like, they're hers.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. So you're obviously a pro 2A type guy.
Absolutely. First
What?
Amendment,
Go
the
ahead.
entire Constitution. Give
Yeah.
me the whole thing.
Okay. I'm looking for somebody to convince me that the Constitution is as important as everybody, all the conservatives and constitutional conservatives make it out to be. I'm not necessarily anti-Constitution, but
I'll
I
give you a
don't.
quick rundown.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's the document that's kept guns in our hands for 249 years. Because without it, we wouldn't have them.
Okay.
It's the document that even though Douglas Mackey, if you don't know who he is, he's the guy in 2016 who tweeted, "You can vote. Democrats can vote by text." They put
Yeah.
him in
Yeah.
prison.
Yep.
Okay, that's what's prevented that. It's not perfect, but it can be changed. There's a way to change it. There's a process. Some good things have been added. Some bad things have been added. Not so much about the 19th Amendment, but neither here nor there. I don't know if you guys know which one that is.
That's the women voting.
Absolutely. Because Taylor Swift's endorsement would have meant nothing. I'm kidding, sort of. But
Go ahead.
no. It's not perfect. But out of all of the documents that have founded countries in the past, it's the one that's lasted. It was the one that said pure democracy is pure chaos. That's why we don't live in a democracy, by the way, because of mob rule.
Yeah. And the founders were very well educated on ancient Rome and also with the ancient Greek philosophy. And they knew that direct democracy was bad because they knew about ancient Greece.
Yeah. And that's so it's a good foundation. I'm not against changing it. I'm not against updating it. But it drives me nuts. I live in a country where a Democrat can tell me they can find justification for abortion, but not for me to have a gun.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
They could find carve outs for illegal aliens to have rights, but not victims of crimes.
And so essentially what you're saying is it's the document that kept guns in our hands for 249 years, and we're getting that 250 next year.
Yep.
And hopefully Trump will have a big awesome celebration. But the reason why that's important is because that's what really protects liberty is
Yeah.
an armed population.
That's the whole idea. Is that if the government gets out of hand,
Yeah.
you're not stuck with pitchforks, and they got Abrams. That's why we've never been invaded. Let me tell you, that's why no one's come up through Mexico or down through Canada. It's because when they get here, there is more than one gun for every single person in this country.
Behind
Registered.
every blade of grass, there's an AR-15. But you're going to need more than AR-15s to take on the government, Jack.
Apparently not, because on January 6th, they claim that we almost took the government over with little old ladies wearing masks and holding flags. So it's one or the other. But, people with room temperature IQs and horns in their helmet are the biggest boogeymen ever.
And Fed-fluencer neo-Nazis with bullhorns.
Yeah.
Fed-fluencer. I just came up with that, by the way. Okay, well, awesome. Yeah, I mean, I can get behind that when it comes to the Constitution. I just feel like it's a piece of paper, and the only reason why we do adhere to it is because so many people, there's a consensus that we are going to adhere to it.
Well, that's everything.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying, but you got to be careful with that argument, because if we make it when we're in power, they'll make it when they're in power. That's what the checks and balances are all about.
Yeah.
It's what makes it hard. So we get frustrated that what we want to happen doesn't happen right away when it changes, but it also kind of protects us when they get into power a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's checks and balances.
and they push and push and push and try as hard as they can to bend that to violate the Constitution as much as possible when they're in power.
And I mean, real quick, I saw something today. They were talking about what Pete Buttfudge there, when he was the Secretary of Transportation, the stuff he had.
Secretary.
He, He wanted to go in and rip up the racist roads, take down freeways. You had to have DEI programs and green programs to get funds to fix your roads and bridges. Let's not forget the Francis Scott Key bridge collapse. Let's not forget the train derailment in Palestine, Ohio. Okay, 50 miles from me.
Yeah.
But his
That's
priority.
50 miles from you, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty.
So that explains all the smooth brain and the bad takes.
And the weird beard.
Yes, beard cast today. Hey, did you send me your cuck of the week?
I sent it on. Where do you?
On
where do you
X?
want me to send it? Oh, okay.
I'm on X right now. If
I
you
got
send
you,
it
man.
there.
My bad.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the week. The cuck of the week. Silas, you want to go ahead and take it off? Take it off.
Whoa.
You know what? I'm done, guys. I quit.
No.
Silas, you take control of the screen. Thank you.
Okay, here we go.
Come to a complete stop.
Remain seated! 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 Release your seatbelts! Leave everything! Come this way! Sit and jump! Release your seatbelts! Leave everything! Come this way! Sit and jump!
Excellent. Good job. Come to a complete.
So is he trained? What is going on there?
I don't know.
You know what? I wouldn't disobey him.
Intense.
He's
Imagine landing and you're still sleeping and he starts screaming that.
All right, let's see here. Oh. Okay.
By the way, that's going to replace the whale in my nightmares. Leave everything and sit down. Is that what he said?
Oh, I think so.
Here, let's see if I can play this one from here, from the DM. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you make it bigger or no?
That's as big as it goes.
That's all right.
You don't think more police make streets safer?
No, Joe. I'm a black woman in America. I do not always think that more police make streets safer. When you walk down the streets of Georgetown, you don't see a police officer on every corner, but you don't feel unsafe. So what is it about talking about places like Southeast D.C., right? Ward 8, if you will, that people say, well, we need more officers to make us safe. I think we have to rethink what safety means in America.
You don't.
Oh, these people are insane.
Yeah, I don't know what Susan Powder there is getting at, but it don't make much sense.
Susan Powder?
Yeah, she was. No, that's not really her. That was.
Oh.
She was in the '90s. She was kind of like Sinead O'Connor, but I think she was a fitness person.
Oh, okay. I got you. All right. Here we go. Detox's Cuck of the Week clip.
Stop me.
Get away from me, bro. Get away from me, bro. Get away from me, bro. Get away from me, bro.
Wow.
Get away from me, bro. Don't do it. Just get away, dude. Don't do it again. Don't do it again.
Always,
Yeah?
You're gonna stop.
it's always in the eyes, guys.
Jeez.
Just your typical Colorado resident.
Jesus, Rob Reiner's fell on hard times.
That does look like Rob Reiner's twin brother, huh? All right. Who gets it? What are your votes? I think the airline guy is my vote for sure.
I'll back you up on that. Like I said, that's gonna impress my nightmare.
It's gonna haunt you for years.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what a joy it is to live in the global empire that is the United States of America. We are heading into the golden age. As long as you believe it, it will happen. If you build it, they will come. But for now, it's just another day in the post-republic. And remember, whatever you do, remain seated.
Remain seated.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back next week. Next week, I am hoping to have on Karen Jones, who is a J6 political prisoner. And so we're going to get her story, and so please tune in for that. And we appreciate it as always. Like, subscribe, and share, and we shall see you next week.